Namaste. Today we are going to learn about quadrilaterals. That is the third chapter, Understanding Quadrilaterals. Here, let us just recall what all curves we have learned already in earlier classes. This is an example for simple curve that is not closed. Here it is not closed and it is also simple. It is not a complex curve. I will show you. If it is like this is also not closed, but this is not simple as well. Because here we have an intersecting point. Here it is passing through this. So this is not a simple curve, but it is not closed too. Here this is open. It is not closed. Now what about this? This is a closed curve and this is a simple curve too. What about this? This is closed, but this is not simple because here we have an intersecting point. Now coming to polygons, it is a simple but closed curve made up of only line segments. Here this is not a polygon. This is simple and closed, but this is not a polygon because it is not made up of line segments. Line segment means this is a line segment. So polygon must be simple, closed and made up of line segment. If you are considering this is not a polygon because here this is not a line segment. This is simple and closed, but this is not a polygon. Now what about this? These are all line segment, but this is not closed. This is not simple. Now what about this? This is made up of line segments. This is simple, but this is not closed. So you can say this is not a polygon. Now let us check some of the examples for polygon. Check this. These are made up of line segments and closed and simple. So these are examples of polygons. So remember, polygon means it is a simple closed curve made up of line segments. Now let us check the classification of polygons. How will we classify the polygons? We classify polygons according to the number of sides or vertices. Sides means, taking this example, we can say these are the sides and this point, these corners are the vertices. Where two line segment joins, that point is the vertex. So here are the vertices and here are the sides. If number of sides are 3, you can classify it as a triangle. And here is the figure of triangle. If number of sides or vertices are 4, we will say that figure as quadrilateral. And this is an example of quadrilateral. We know square, rectangle and all, it all come under quadrilateral. Now, if number of sides or vertices are 5, we say it is a pentagon and it has 5 sides. This is an example for pentagon. Now, if it is 6 sides, we will name it as hexagon and it has 6 sides, that is here we have 6-side figure, that is hexagon. Now if it is 7, we name it as heptagon. If it is 8, we will say octagon. And 9, nonagon. And if it is 10 sides, we will say decagon. So these are some of the classification of polygons according to the number of sides or vertices. Next is diagonals. A diagonal is a line segment connecting two non-consecutive vertices. That is, if this is the figure, now consecutive vertices means this and this. That is, they are lying nearby. Non-consecutive means for this vertex, non-consecutive vertices means will be this. So you want to join this. This is the diagonal. And what about this? Non-consecutive vertex is this. So join it. This is the diagonal. Now what about a triangle? Here it's non-consecutive vertex. Here this is consecutive, This is also consecutive. So triangle have no diagonal because we can't find non-consecutive vertices. If we are taking this vertex, you say this and this are the consecutive vertex, not non-consecutive vertex. So in a triangle, all the three vertices have no non-consecutive vertex, so we can't join it. So there is no diagonals for triangle. Now if it is like this, which are the diagonals? For this point, this is the consecutive vertex. This also is the consecutive vertex. Non-consecutive vertex is this point. So join it. This is a diagonal. Now for this point, this is consecutive, this is consecutive. But this point is not a consecutive. So non-consecutive, join it. So in a triangle we have no diagonals, but here we have diagonals. One is inside the figure, here one is outside the figure. So we can say or categorize this as convex and concave polygons. This is convex, that is, if all the diagonals are inside the given polygon, we can say it is convex. And we will say if some of the diagonals are outside the figure, then we will say it is concave. One example is this. Now check this one. The consecutive point or vertex of this point is this and this. So this will be non-consecutive. Join. This is a diagonal. Now this is also a diagonal because this points, consecutive points are this and this. So we can join this. Now what about consecutive point of this? It is this and this. So here we can join it. This is outside the figure. So it is concave. Now we use a term for inside and outside the polygons. Inside the polygon means it is interior of the polygon. Outside means it is the exterior of the polygon. Here diagonals are exterior. Here diagonals are in interior. Next is a regular and irregular polygon. A regular polygon is both equiangular and equilateral. That is, if this is a regular polygon, that is regular triangle, then equiangular means all the three angles must be equal. Also the length of the three sides must be equal. This is not a regular polygon because here the lengths are different and angles are also different. So be sure in a regular polygon it must be equiangular and equilateral. And examples of regular polygons are equilateral triangle. All the three angles are same and sides are equal. Also another example is square. Here we know all the angles are 90 degree in a square. Also all the sides will be equal. So this is a regular polygon. What about a rectangle? Here angles are all 90, that is, it is equiangular, but it is not equilateral. That is, all four sides are not equal, only opposite sides are equal. These two sides are equal, these two sides are equal. So this is not a regular polygon. These are examples of regular polygon. Now we also learned angle sum property. Angle sum means in triangle we have three angles. Their sum is 180. We have already learned it. Now considering square, we have square or rectangle. These are all quadrilaterals. If the quadrilateral is like this is not a rectangle and also it is not a square. But the angle sum property of a quadrilateral, that is four-sided polygon, is 360. We have already learned in the earlier classes. We know triangle's angle sum is 180 and quadrilateral's angle sum is 360. Now we will learn more about angle sum property in the coming exercise. Coming to exercise 3.1, given here are some figures. Classify each of them on the basis of the following. Simple curve. Which all are the simple curves here? This is a simple curve. This is also a simple curve. These are not simple curves. Again, this is simple curve. This is simple curve. This is simple curve. This is not a simple curve. Next is simple closed curve. Simple closed curve. Here, this is a simple closed curve. This is also simple closed curve. This is not a simple closed curve. This is not simple curve 2. This is not a simple closed. Here this is a simple closed curve. This is also simple closed curve. This is also simple closed curve. This is not simple closed curve. Next is polygon. Which are the polygons here? Here 1 and 2 are the polygons because they are formed by line segment. All the others are not formed by line segments. Here this is line segments but it is not simple. So polygon is formed by line segment but it must be simple closed curve also. So here 1 and 2 satisfy all the conditions of polygon. So these are polygons. Next is convex polygon. So we know these are the polygons. From that you have to check which is the convex polygon. Convex polygon means diagonals must be in the interior. Here in this figure, diagonals are in the interior. So this is a convex polygon. Next is concave polygon. Here this is the polygon and here one diagonal is in the exterior. So you can say the polygons which have diagonals in the exterior are called as concave polygon. Next question, how many diagonals does each of the following have? First one, a convex quadrilateral. Quadrilateral have 4 sides and 4 vertices. So let us draw a quadrilateral. This is a quadrilateral and it should be convex. Convex means all the diagonals must be inside the polygon. So here this is a convex quadrilateral. Now check how many diagonals are there. Here from this point, these are the consecutive points of this point. This is the non-consecutive point from this point. So join it. This is one diagonal. Now considering another point, these two are the consecutive points. This is non-consecutive. So join it. So how many diagonals do a quadrilateral, convex quadrilateral have? 2 diagonals. One is this and one is the other. 2 diagonals. Next, a regular hexagon. Hexagon means how many sides it will have? 6 sides. So let us draw a regular hexagon. Regular, the word meaning is it must be equilateral and equiangular. So let us draw a regular hexagon. All the sides length must be equal. Now check how many diagonals are there. Starting from this point, the non-consecutive points are this and this, also this one. So 3 is there. Now next is this point. From this you can draw 4th one and 5th one and 6th one. Now from this point we have already drawn one. So next is 7th one from here and here. Now from this point, so 7 and 8 we have already drawn. Now from this point we have already drawn 2 diagonals. Now the third one is this, that is 9. So total how many diagonals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So total 9 diagonals are there. In a regular hexagon we have 9 diagonals. Next, a triangle. The triangle is this. Considering this point, these two are consecutive points, so you can't draw diagonal. Now considering this point, these two are consecutive points, so you can't draw diagonal. Now this point, we have these 2 points as consecutive points, so we can't draw a diagonal. So in a triangle, we have no diagonals. So number of diagonals in a triangle is 0. Next question, what is the sum of the measures of angles of a convex quadrilateral? Now, will this property hold if the quadrilateral is not convex, that is concave quadrilateral? So let us make 2 quadrilaterals. One is convex and the other is concave. Actually, in quadrilateral we have 4 vertices and 4 sides. So this is convex quadrilateral. In this, all the diagonals are inside or interior of the quadrilateral. Now let us draw another quadrilateral with 4 sides. Here how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides and 4 vertices. So here this is a concave quadrilateral because here this diagonal comes in the exterior of the figure. So that is a concave quadrilateral. Now check what is the angle sum property of these two quadrilaterals. Here, how will we find? First we will name this quadrilateral A, B, C, D in clockwise. Now join a diagonal BD. Now we got two triangles, that is triangle ABD and triangle BCD. Two triangles are there. We know angle sum property of a triangle is 180. That is quadrilateral ABCD is equal to triangle ABD formed by triangle ABD plus triangle BCD. And we know angle sum property of a triangle is 180 degrees. So we can say these three angles are 180 degree plus the other triangle have these three angles, that is triangle BCD, and it is also 180. So 180 plus 180 we have 360. So the total sum of the angles in a quadrilateral is 360. This is convex quadrilateral. Now what about concave? Here let us form two triangles and name this like ABCD. Again in this we can see two triangles, that is ABD and again BCD. So triangle ABD plus triangle BCD. Here angle sum of a triangle is 180 plus angle sum of BCD is again 180 degree. So the sum is 360 degree. Yes, for a concave and a convex quadrilateral, both have angle sum as 360 degree. That is, a quadrilateral's angle sum is 360 degree. Next question, examine the table. Each figure is divided into triangles and the sum of the angles deduced from that. So we can see in the first figure, it is a triangle and sum of the angle is 180. We have three sides in it. Now the second figure, we have four sides, and in that we can see we have two triangles because we draw a diagonal and we got two triangles in that. That is 2 into 180 will be the angle sum property. In one triangle, angle sum will be 180. So in two triangles, 2 into 180 is the angle sum property. To get that 2, that is actual sides were 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. We are generalizing an equation from that. So considering the next figure, it has 5 sides and we have 3 triangles in it. 3 triangles because we have 2 diagonals and we formed 3 triangles. So the angle sum property will be 3 into 180. To get that 3, actual number of sides were 5. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So check, in the previous figure we have 4 minus 2 is 2. That is 2 into 180. Here 5 minus 2 is 3. That is 3 into 180. Now the last figure, it has 6 sides and number of triangles formed is 4. So 4 into 180 is the angle sum. And to get that 4, it is 6 minus 2. So we can generalize that if there are n sides, if number of sides are n, we can say how many triangles will be there in that figure. That is n minus 2 triangles will be there. So the angle sum property will be n minus 2 into 180. Here doing n minus 2 we will get number of triangles and into 180. That is the angle sum property of the polygons. Now let us check what can you say about the angle sum of convex polygon with number of sides 7. Number of sides is given, that is n is here 7. So to find the angle sum property, 7 minus 2, that is 5. 5 into 180 is the angle sum. So 5 into 180 is 900. This is the angle sum of polygon having 7 sides. Next one, n is equal to 8. Then how will you find angle sum? 8 minus 2 into 180. 8 minus 2 is 6 into 180. That is 1080 degrees is the angle sum where number of sides are 8. Now if number of sides are 10, we can say 10 minus 2 into 180. That is 8 into 180, which is equal to 1440 degree. If number of sides are n, we can generalize the formula that n minus 2 into 180 degree is the angle sum. So keep in mind this formula. We have to apply in the problems. That is, to find angle sum, if number of sides are given, you can say it is n minus 2 into 180 if n number of sides are there. N minus 2 into 180 is the angle sum property. Next question, what is a regular polygon? We have already learned that a regular polygon is a polygon having sides of equal length and angles of equal measure, that is equilateral and equiangular. Now state the name of a regular polygon of 3 sides. If it is 3 sides, we can say it is a triangle, but equiangular and equilateral means this is which type of triangle? Equilateral triangle. In that all the angles will be equal and all the sides will be equal. So 3-sided regular polygon is equilateral triangle. Now if it have 4 sides, it is a square because all the 4 angles are same and 4 sides are same. So example is square. 4-sided figure, that is quadrilateral, and regular polygon or regular quadrilateral is square. Third one, 6 sides. 6-sided figure is actually hexagon, and if it is having same measure of angles and same sides, then we can say it is a regular hexagon. We will name that figure as regular hexagon. This is regular hexagon. All the sides are equal and all the angles here are equal. So 6-sided figure which is regular is called as regular hexagon. A figure is given. This is 50. This is 130. This is 120 degree. This is x. We have to find the x. Now we know how many sides are there. This is a 4-sided figure and it is called quadrilateral, and the angle sum of quadrilateral is 360 degree. Let us name this A, B, C and D. Now we know angle A plus angle B plus angle C plus angle D is equal to 360 degree, and we know the angles A plus B we don't know, it is given, name x, plus angle C is 120 degree plus angle D is 130 degree equal to 360. Now let us add all the numbers in LHS part. That is 50 plus 130 plus 120 is 300 plus 300 degree plus x equal to 360 degree. Don't forget to put the degrees. Now x is equal to, here in RHS we have 360, taking 300 to RHS it becomes minus 300, and 360 minus 300, that is the x, that is 60 degree. So the missing x is 60 degree. Now next figure, this is the figure given. So this is the missing angle. We know this is a quadrilateral and sum of the angles of a quadrilateral is 360, but here we can't see an angle. Actually here it is given in the exterior, it is 90 degree. This type of angle shows 90 degree. If an angle is represented like this, it is not 90, but if it is represented like a square type, then it is 90 degree. Here it is square type, so it is 90 degree. If this is 90, this side will also be 90, because if a line is intersecting on a line segment, the total of this angle will be 180. That is linear pair. It is called linear pair. So if a line is falling straight and forms 90 degree at one side, this is linear pair. If this is 90, then this angle will also be 90, because 90 plus 90 we have to get 180. So here it is 90, then here will also be 90, because this is a line segment, a line is falling on it. This is a linear pair here. This is 90 given. So this is also 90. Now Here this is 90. Now we know the angle sum, the interior of quadrilateral is 360. So we can say 70 plus 90 plus 60 plus x is equal to 360. The sum of 70 plus 90 plus 60 is 220 plus x is equal to 360. So x is equal to 360 minus 220. Taking this 220 to RHS, it is minus 220. Then we will get the value of x as 140. 140 degree is the angle, missing angle here. Now next, this is the figure given. Actually, this is 5-sided polygon. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided polygon. That means pentagon. So the angle sum property, we know angle sum is n minus 2 into 180, right? So here it is 5-sided figure. 5 minus 2 into 180 means 3 into 180. That is angle sum of a pentagon is 3 into 180 is 540. So angle sum is 540. We have this much angles given. This is in the exterior and here we can see a linear pair. If this is 70, this total angle forms 180. So this is 180 minus 70. This is a linear pair. Now here also a line segment is there. One line is falling here. So if this is 60, this total must be 180. So this angle must be, this is already 60. So this is 180 minus 60. Now let us check which are the angles here. This is 30 degree plus one x is there plus the other x is there plus this angle is 180 minus 70 because here angle is falling 70. This is linear pair. This is 180 minus 70, that is 110. Here the angle is 110 degree. We can write here 110. Now what about the other side? Here it is another line segment falling on a line segment. Here it forms linear pair. Here it is 60. So this will be, this total is 180. Here it is 60. So this will be 180 minus 60. That is 120 plus 120. This angle is 120 in the interior. So we got all the interior angles. Two angles are missing, but it is given both are equal. This is x, this is also x. And the angle sum of a pentagon is 540. We have already got the value 540 here. So this is 30 plus 110 plus 120. That is 260 is the sum plus x plus x. Simply x means 1x. Here also 1x. 1x plus 1x is 2x is equal to 540. Now keep this variable part here in LHS. 540 is there. Taking 260 to RHS, it becomes minus 260. That is 2x is equal to 540 minus 260 is 280. And x is equal to, we need the value of x. So x is equal to, here in RHS we have 280. Taking this 2 to RHS, it goes to denominator because here it is multiplication. 2x is 2 into x. So taking to RHS, it becomes division by 2. 280 division 2 is 140. So we got x is 140. That means this angle is 140. This angle also 140. Each are x. So this is 140. This is 140. This is the next figure given. Here it is given all the sides are equal. This shows the equality of the sides. All the sides are equal. That is a regular polygon. And how many sides are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side regular polygon means regular pentagon. This is a regular pentagon. And if it is regular pentagon, then all the angles will also be equal. If one angle is x, all the angles are x. This is x, this is x, this is x, this is also x. So, how many angles will be there? 5 x's are there. That is x plus x plus x plus x plus x. That is 5x. 5x is equal to, we know the angle sum property of a 5-sided figure. It is 5 minus 2 into 180. That is 3 into 180. That is 540. So 5x is equal to, angle sum is 540 degree. Now x is equal to 540 by 5. Here it is multiplication. So taking to RHS by 5. 540 division 5. In that we can cut this with 5. 5 ones are 5. Here in 540, 1 5s are 5. In 4, you can't divide it with 5. So put a 0 here to show it is not divisible by 5. Now take this 4 0 together. That is, it becomes 40. In 40, how many times 5? 8 times. So don't forget to put the 0 here while cutting, because in 4 it is not divisible by 5. So put a 0 and make this 40 together, and we can say it is 8 times in 40. So the answer is 108. X is 108 degree. That means each angle is 108 degree. This is the next question. Here we have to find x plus y plus z. In the figure it is given x is here, y and z. All the three are in the exterior of this polygon. This is a triangle, and we know angle sum of a triangle. Angle sum is 180 of triangle. So here we have in the interior, that is 90 plus 30 plus, here we don't know, let it be a. So a is equal to 180. We have to find the missing angle in the triangle. So 90 plus 30 is 120 plus a equal to 180, and we will get the a. 180 minus 120 is 60. So the missing angle here is 60. Now we got all the three angles in the interior. Now it is easy for us to find the angles in the exterior, because here it is a linear pair, here it is a linear pair, here also it is a linear pair. So to find x is 180 minus 90, that is here it is linear pair. 180 minus 90 means x will be 90. So x is 90 degree. Now what about y? That is here 180 minus 60. This is linear pair. So 180 minus 60 again linear pair, that is 120. 120 degree is the y. Now z is equal to, here also we have a linear pair. So this is 180. Linear pair sum is 180. So this is 180 minus 30. 180 minus 30 equal to 150. So we got x, y and z. Now it is easy for us to find the sum. X is 90 plus y is 120 plus z is 150. 90 plus 120 plus 150 is 360. So the exterior angles here, x plus y plus z, all are in the exterior and their sum is 360. This is the next figure. We have to find x plus y plus z plus w. All are in exterior. So first we have to find the missing angles in the interior. This is a four-sided figure. That means it is a quadrilateral. So the angle sum of quadrilateral is 360 degree. So we have in the interior 60 plus 80 plus 120 plus one missing angle. So let it be A equal to 360. Now 60 plus 80 plus 120, 260. So to find A equal to 360 minus 260 and A equal to 100. So the missing angle here is 100. Now you can see all the exterior angles are linear pair with interior angles. So to find the Z, this is a linear pair. So Z is 180 minus 60. This is a linear pair here. So this is 180 minus 100. Now this X is a linear pair here. So this is 180 minus 120. Now this Y is again a linear pair with this angle. So this is 180 minus 80. We can say X is equal to 180 minus 120. That is 60. Y is equal to 180 minus 80. That is 100. Z is equal to 180 minus 60. That is 120. W is equal to 180 minus 100. That is 80. So X plus Y plus Z plus W is sum of these angles. X plus Y plus Z plus W means 60 plus 100 plus 120 plus 80, and that is 360. So the sum of exterior angles of a quadrilateral, we got 360.